The Morning Dish.
He's the hardest working man in show business. His band's music takes you into the midnight hours. And when you wake up, his voice is back on your radio alarm clock. How on earth did this happen?
Well, Jeff saw me taking out the trash at the radio station.
And he won another award.
But this one is better.
It's the Morning Dish with the 2019 Radio Personality of the Year winner, Stephen Phillips.
You paying attention to this, Packy?
And Murphy's own Sherry Raines.
Yeah, you must have given horseback passes to the right guy, Stephen.
Well, giddy up.
And Packy Smith's Shetland pony is right alongside.
You guys know these demo tapes don't just edit themselves together, right?
Well, all right.
3 cheers for Stephen Phillips.
Y'all need to help Stephen Phillips out over there. Out the door and off the radio.
Here's Stephen Phillips.
All righty, folks, all the way from California. We got actor, movie producer, and movie maker, Mr. Michael Rodriguez. Good morning. How are you, sir?
Oh, I'm great. How are you folks over there?
We got to sleep a little late, man. It's like 5:30 out there where you're at, ain't it?
It is, yeah. A little bit early, but that's all right.
I know you rock stars like to sleep till about 12 or 1 o'clock in the afternoon and get up and party all night.
Oh, you know.
I think this guy actually works. He does movies, so he actually has to work.
Yeah, but it's fun. It's when you're doing what you love, it's never work.
Yeah.
So, but I enjoy it.
So I'm looking at some of the movies. It's all, you're pretty much all horror, right? Horror flicks that you're doing.
Pretty much, yeah. The last I did a short film recently, and it's actually up on YouTube. I never usually do that, but I did a crime thriller, and I said, you know what, I'm going to put this one up on YouTube so the public can watch it. It's called Dealings, and this one's sort of like it's sort of like if the Coen brothers and Tarantino had a baby.
Oh my gosh!
That was 17 minutes long. Yeah, yeah. So it's got a little bit of a darkness, a dry humor, and some criminal shenanigans with the little dance routine.
Oh,
so
like
I said, it's got a kind of like a perfect mix of a Coen brothers Tarantino vibe. So I'm pretty proud of it, and I encourage everybody to go watch it if they get a chance.
Well, now this, that's the thing. They call them shorts. There's a lot of these shorts. Am I saying that right? These little movies, because I know a lot of different people putting these shorts up. Is that a big thing going on right now?
You know what? It is when you do want to get looked at. Some people they enter them in competitions and film festivals, and it's a good way to build up your resume. But I feel that I've been doing this for close to about a decade in November.
Right.
I've been in the business for 10 years, and it's a nice way to get started, to get a resume going as far as winning awards and getting accolades for your work. And then eventually you want to graduate and start doing feature films. And I started with short films, but I still do them if they're a passion project.
Right.
So I have 3 feature films that are completed. One's got full distribution since 2018, and then the sequel, the follow-up for it, is coming out this fall, strictly through streaming. Everything's gone streaming now. Everything's either on Apple TV or Roku, things like that.
I think that's good, though, because you can get your stuff.
The features. Yeah, so, I did this short film because I really, I felt the material is really good, and I usually write and produce my own stuff. So it was a film that I was like, man, if I can get a really good, my band back together, we can do this, little 17-minute piece. I think people will enjoy it, and so far the feedback's been awesome.
I watched it; it was really cool. Now you've got a band.
Oh,
you actually play music.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so it was a fun little thing. We did that back in March, and I work really quick, so I think we shot that in about 2.5 days, and and we rocked it out, and can't wait to start the next one.
We should have given you a disclaimer because Stephen has a very short attention span, and so he's going to jump all over the place. So just prepare yourself.
Are you kidding? You said
no problem.
You said you played in a band.
I'm that way too.
Do you play in a? You said you had a band, playing music.
Oh no. I just mean my film crew and everything. We've like a majority of us, like my cinematographer and everything. We've been together since like for about 8 years. So we consider ourselves like a band. We already know what to do. We look at each other and we know where to focus and where to do everything and where to cut and where to start. So I usually just call them a band.
There you go. Okay, I didn't throw me off there for a minute. I thought maybe you played music because a lot of musicians do play music.
Oh,
I mean, a lot of musicians play music. We got that. A lot of actors.
Boy, you're on it today.
Yeah, I'm on it today.
Hey, and I don't want to pigeonhole what you're doing here, but I'm looking at some of the trailers and some of the films that you've done, and it's really reminiscent of like 80s slasher type horror, isn't it? I mean,
yeah. I have a particular style. I was a child of the mid 70s and 80s. And so I have a particular retro style. It's sort of grindhousey and
right. I'm not saying it's a bad thing at all. It's just interesting to see that. Yeah.
I think back in the 80s though, that's when all the cool movies.
They were scary.
Yeah,
it was scary.
Yeah, now it's kind of just. I mean, it's like remakes of the old stuff, Yeah.
I even have a particular way of shooting it. I've always, when I get Q&As and I go to film festivals, people always ask like, "Oh, you got a unique look to the actual movie itself, the way it looks," and that's all done with vintage glass lenses that they hardly anybody uses anymore.
Right.
And
see, I don't like the high definition. I don't like the high definition cameras, the red cameras and all that. I just think they're too much.
I think so too. I tell people, this is what I always say at the Q&As. I say, when I went to the movies as a kid and I seen Paul Newman or Robert Redford on the screen, they looked smooth as silk and just 50 feet tall. And now when you go to movies, you're like, oh, look at Al Pacino didn't shave right there. He's got a hair sticking out.
Right.
I can see that.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that. I want to see my movie stars look like, movie stars.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Well, you think about that's a good perspective. You think about some of the really famous folks from back in the golden age of film. How good would they look today with all this high def, big screen stuff?
Well, that's the thing. And then when you meet them, they're like
it's a disappointment.
They're ugly. They got like 6 inches of makeup on.
Yeah, no, I agree. So so what I do is I shoot with these vintage lenses. We usually, my camera operator and myself, we kind of shop through it because I used to be a professional photographer, by trade before I got into the business. So, it's good to be able to speak that language with your cameraman because I know a lot of directors that don't. They just kind of stick to the script and work with the actors, and then worry about what millimeters they're going to shoot this at. I leave it up to the cameraman, but he and I usually work on the lighting scheme, and then of course the actual look of everything. So it's real helpful that me and him can talk that same language, and we make it work a certain way I like it to look.
Yeah, that's good. So let me ask some of these folks out here needing to follow you or get up with you and watch some of these stuff that you've got going on. What do they need to do?
Well, I have my first feature film is called Last American Horror Show. And if you like movies that were like Creep Show, like anthology movies,
yeah,
like
I do like those. Yeah,
they're like episodic. Well, that was my first movie. It was comprised of 4 short films that all wrapped together, and that one could be seen like basically you can go to like Tubi. You can type if you do streaming.
Yeah.
You can type in Last American Horror Show, and it'll pop up either on Apple TV, Amazon Prime, Fandango.
Yeah, I'm looking at it on Prime right now, so it's there.
Yeah. So you can watch it there. You can also order it. It used to be available in stores when it first came out, but you can still order it through like Walmart.com or Target.com. And then the second feature, I'm working with a new distributor, Midnight Releasing, and I signed a strictly streaming contract, so that way there won't be actually any Blu-rays or DVDs, but it'll be out there on all the major streaming platforms, including overseas, which would be interesting. I'd like to see it dubbed in different languages. Right. We had to get it all captioned and everything, so so they can have like voice actors from Italy do it. So like I'm kind of interested to see how that comes out. But I'm pretty excited all around.
Well, if you need anybody with a Southern accent, just give me a holler.
Oh, definitely. I may have you read for a trailer because I really dig that.
There you go. All right, man. We appreciate your time, brother. I'll guarantee you that, and we'll keep up with you and see what's going on.
Well, thank you.
All right, man. You take care.
All right, you too. You guys have a great Friday and a great weekend.
All right, man. We'll talk to you later.
Sears Hometown Store in Blairsville, Georgia, right over here down the road. They are your neighbors, keeping your money local by buying with them. They can help you find everything you need for your home and outdoor space with some great staff that will guide you through your purchases. Give them a call at 706-745-6600.
Thank you for spending a little time with us. And remember, you can tune in every morning at WJULradio.com at 8 a.m. Eastern. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel and like us on Facebook, The Morning Dish.